Welcome on in, everybody. It is Mock Draft Monday. Gonna start doing mock drafts every Monday if possible. We'll see if I can stick up with that schedule. But yes, we're gonna get right into this one. Short little mock draft coming to you guys after the massive trades that happened in the NFL. The New York Jets now own the 32nd overall pick in this draft, in addition to the 3rd overall pick. They have officially started their rebuild, and with that, it is time for some mock drafts. Some pieces have moved around, some players have gotten better, gone up the board, moved down the board, and we are starting with QB1 of the class. Will it be Fernando Mendoza? Will it be Dante Moore? I like both these guys a lot. For the New Orleans Saints, I'm going to end up picking Fernando Mendoza, which is a surprise because I just said in my last video I do like Dante Moore a little better, but for the Saints, I think picking somebody that fits their scheme, that would be Fernando Mendoza. So we're going to go with the quarterback out of Indiana who is having a breakout season. And then for the 2nd overall pick, we got the Tennessee Titans. Just traded away Roger McCreary. Very interesting. A lot of different ways this could go, but for me, it's continuing to just go Spencer Fano. I know he's all the way down the board for PFF. I have him ranked as a top 10 player in this class. Continue to improve that offensive line because Cam Ward is kind of out there struggling, running for his life. I know you invested into Pete Skoronski and J.C. Latham, and every year they're kind of going out and picking offensive linemen up, but it's going to end up helping you a whole lot, especially right now. You have a young quarterback, you want to defend him, make sure he's all right. Spencer Fano is the way to go, a top 10 tackle prospect in this class, like him a whole lot. Just going to send him to the Titans, continuing to do that recently. Who are we going here for the New York Jets? You got wide receivers available, linebackers, and for me, at this point, I don't really know. They're really in rebuild mode right now, huh? So, is Arvell Reese the move? I don't know. You just traded away Sauce. DBs aren't looking too good. I would not pick Jermon McCoy this high. I'm trying to remember who I went in previous mocks. I do think in this one, I think I'm going to go Jordan Tyson right here. Get him to pair him alongside Garrett Wilson. You could easily go with a quarterback right now. I think you're kind of just taking a risk on any of these guys. Dante Moore doesn't entirely fit that system. It's kind of like getting another Justin Fields out there. Not entirely. I actually have Dante Moore rated a little bit better than a player like Fields. So instead of doing something like that, you go out and get Jordan Tyson. Build up the offense because you're in rebuild mode right now. You'll have Garrett Wilson. You'll have Jordan Tyson as a nice receiver core for whatever quarterback you end up drafting. And you could easily go on later in the class and develop them. I know the Jets aren't very good at that, developing quarterbacks. Think back to Jordan Travis, Zach Wilson. But yeah, still, going to end up picking Tyson right there. I've continued to pick in every one of my mocks. Arvell Reese right here to the Miami Dolphins. A very nice fit for them. And a team that's also trying to rebuild somewhat here. Start rebuilding that defense up with Arvell Reese, a player that can play both linebacker and almost edge for you. He can do a whole lot more than that, too. Like Arvell Reese a whole lot. And right now, where the draft is sitting, I don't really like it. I want to see some teams move around. I want to see some players move up and down. But for now, this is going to be how it goes for me. Caleb Downs falling down here to number 5 is a steal for the New York Giants. Add to that secondary. You already have Javon Holland over there. You have a couple of other players. Who's the guy who came over from the Saints previously? He's been very nice. He plays corner for them. And then you have, Deonte Banks, who has struggled. Get some more guys in that secondary, man. There you go. You have Javon Holland, Caleb Downs. Very nice duo right there. Former Oregon guy, former Ohio State guy. All right, and yeah, you upgrade that defense by doing that. Right here, Cleveland Browns. I would originally have them picking a player like Jordan Tyson. It's a little too early for a player like Tate or Mekhi Lemon or Boston. But here at 6, let's see. Wide receiver, guard, tackle, corner. They got Mason Graham last year. And they have, 2 picks in this? Yeah, 2 picks. Wide receiver, guard, tackle, corner. You could pick McCoy here. I think it's a little too early for him. Could pick a couple. But I'm going to go Dante Moore. I mean, I know you have Shedeur Sanders, but it's really a question at quarterback. Dylan Gabriel ain't the guy. Go and get Dante Moore. He fits that system very nicely. Give Judy somebody to throw him the ball to, and then maybe go receiver later in the draft because really Jerry Jeudy and Cedric Tillman, and then you have Fannin and Njoku out there. It's really a piss poor offense. So add Dante Moore in. You're already starting to rebuild with Mason Graham and some other players on that team. So add Dante Moore into the mix. I like him right there. This could easily be a Ty Simpson landing spot. It may just be. You know what? I still feel like that's a little too early for him. So I'm going to go Pete Woods, interior defensive lineman from Clemson. You lost out on Christian Wilkins, paid him a massive contract just for him to be injured and then not play for you. So go ahead and get Pete Woods, another Clemson defensive lineman. Except Pete Woods is actually very talented. He's going to add into that defense. I know you spent the last few picks on offensive players, on Bowers and Genty and the likes. Now you go and get some guy for your defense. Later on in the draft, you can grab up a quarterback. Wide receiver right here, Carnell Tate is my dream pick to the Cardinals. Go ahead and get that Ohio State-centric duo and Marvin Harrison and Carnell Tate. Tate works really nice as a receiver too, but could definitely flourish into a receiver one. Could see that happening even on Arizona, who people are talking about them even drafting a quarterback at this point. I don't know about that. I think they have some other needs, including the offensive line. But for now, we're going to go Tate, add to the receiver core. Michael Wilson's fine when he's healthy. But, yeah, Ruben Bain just sitting here. Whew. I do think the Bengals have to pounce on that. They need a player that's going to make a difference for their defense. Bring Ruben Bain up from Miami to Cincinnati. And it's not an amazing fit. I really do think he would fit better on a team like maybe the Ravens or the Texans, or even up here you could have him fitting nicely on. I guess he is somewhat of a fit for a decent amount of teams, but still. I don't know. Basically, I like Bain to a couple of other teams. But the Bengals need upgrades to that defense easily. That defense just let up 47 points to the Chicago Bears. So, I don't know if there was a pick in there or not, but still. Let up a lot of points. Ruben Bain's going to upgrade that defense. That's all you got to know. Grab TJ Parker right here easily. Washington needs some edge defense. They also need DBs, but they can focus on that later in the draft. A guard would be nice too, but you could also grab that later in the draft. And a player like Oliva Vega, Eon. Then you got wide receiver. I like Mekhi Lemon right here to them. But Denzel Boston, also nice. Really strugglesome wide receiver core there in Baltimore. Caleb Banks, fine here. Nothing crazy. I am actually going to pick Denzel Boston right here. And I didn't actually think it, but he is a somewhat good player going to the Ravens. Rashad Bateman is nothing special. Give him a 3-year, $30 million contract. Zay Flowers, get Denzel Boston in there. Then you have kind of two wide receiver twos who can, take the weight off of each other. I like that. Denzel Boston to the Baltimore Ravens. Quarterback right here may just be the move. We're an offensive lineman. Francis Mauigoa right there. Tackle. Rams. Another year in a row where you might think they're going a quarterback. But Francis Mauigoa, tackle right there. Stafford is like an ageless wonder. It's going to continue to pop off. Devontae Adams in that offense now, popping off for 2 touchdowns a game. Had him in fantasy. Should not have traded him away. But sometimes you got to sell high and take the risk. Francis Mauigoa, very nice tackle prospect. Going to add right into that offensive line with Steve Avila, who's in there. Havenstein. No, I think Havenstein's on the Ravens now. But yeah, you really do need to upgrade that offensive line, either tackle or guard. You have Kevin Dotson in there too, is nice. But Mauigoa is going to completely upgrade that exterior of the offensive line on the tackle side. And then Jeremiah Love, I think he is a great fit to meet the Texans, but they love their Penn State offensive lineman. I'm going to select a guard right there. They really need guard. Ever since that Kenyon Green draft pick, they really need a guard. Oliva Vega Eon is a awesome guard prospect. I do have him more in the 20s range in my rankings, but right here I'm going to say he is a very nice pick. Like I said, love their Penn State guys as well. Tackle, defensive lineman, linebacker, and the Cowboys, they love their Texas guys. Could see them going to Anthony Hill here. It's a little bit early for him. I do like more overall. I know they just grabbed Quinnen Williams up, but Caleb Banks right here would be nice. If you're looking at tackle, you go Caden Proctor. They never actually go with a skilled offensive lineman. They always just take a dude named Tyler, who is usually like a fine player out of, a Big Ten or an SEC school. But at the same time, if they're really looking for a good player, the Caden Proctor's here. If they want to go with a Tyler, I don't know if there's a T. Smith they could take in the draft. But yeah, right here. Or you could have him going Jeremiah Love. I'm not going to. Javante's having an awesome season. I say pay him. Go Caleb Banks right here. Add him into the defensive line. You traded away Mozzie Smith to get Quinnen. Quinnen Williams and Caleb Banks will be a nice defensive line duo. You added Logan Wilson as a linebacker. So I like Caleb Banks right there instead of Originally, I would have them going like with a linebacker, maybe Anthony Hill or a Sonny Styles, but gonna have Caleb Banks going right there. Jeremiah Love. I mean, I know Jordan Mason's been fine, but yeah, that's not going to stop you from drafting Jeremiah Love, who is a top 5 prospect in this draft. I like Mason. He's fallen off, kind of. Aaron Jones is old. He's more of a receiving back. Jeremiah Love is going to be your guy of the future. Add him into an offense with Addison Jefferson. You're going to see J.J. McCarthy really start to succeed, I feel like. So, I'm going to have him being drafted right there. Then we got Panthers. Do they add another wide receiver to the mix? I don't know. Connor Lew and Jake Slaughter, way too early to draft either. I am actually thinking about LT Overton right here, who is an awesome fit, but I don't think I'm going to pull the trigger. I think I'm going to go with a linebacker and Sonny Styles. I like the idea of them ending up going for a wide receiver. I just feel like that's... You have Ted McMillan, you have Xavier Legette, you spent a first-round pick on him a couple seasons ago. They have a couple of other guys, and that Jalen Coker's not bad. Some guys have popped off in that offense recently, so... And then you have, JT Sanders and somebody else, tight end, who I can't remember the name of now. Add Sonny Styles into the linebacker room, continue to upgrade it with what you did in the last draft, getting Princely Uman-Mellon and the other player that I'm now forgetting their name. I keep forgetting names, but anyways, add to that defense, pretty much is what I'm saying for the Panthers. Chiefs, I would almost have them picking running back. I think grabbing one late is usually their method. Edge right here, if they got LT Overton, I'd probably kill myself. I love LT Overton. I'm going to have them grab a Keldrick Falk. Him or Jermod McCoy is like the perfect pick right there for them. Just add to that edge rushing room. Nothing really to add besides that. You can see them going defensive line for the Bears, linebacker. A couple fun linebackers here. Perkins all the way down here, but he is a nice fit there. And then defensive line. Christian Miller, you know what? He is actually a very good pickup. There's kind of like some Georgia players. There was a lot of talk a couple years ago about them getting Jalen Carter. Christian Miller is like a lesser version of a Jalen Carter. I like that for them. He goes a little bit higher than I would personally draft him, but still. Mekhi Lemon, nice little slot guy. Some comparisons to JSN with him. I like Mekhi Lemon a lot. There you go. Get a wide receiver to add into that room. Literally add anybody. Help Jerry Jeudy out a little bit because he's still somewhat of a guy in that room. Cedric Tillman's there too. Add to that, and now you have, up here you grab Dante Moore, and you have a new prospect for him to throw to, and Lemon. Like that. Quarterback. The Steelers go quarterback here. Aaron Rodgers is old. Lenora Sellers is right there. There's not too many... You could have grabbed Caden Proctor, maybe. You could have grabbed Jermon McCoy if you want to go corner. Corner is definitely a need. Sellers has the chance to be a top 5 level prospect in this class. I do have him ranked more down in the 20s right now, but he still has that upside. For the Lions, this defensive interior, I think it's a little too high for a couple of these guys. They could go Mary Washington. Jermon McCoy is sitting right here, and he should have been drafted already. So I'm going to go Jermon McCoy. Right there, like him to the Lions. Nothing really, just kind of best player available at this. Chargers really need offensive line. They really need it a lot. Rod Moore is not the way to go. Edge might be the way to go if you want to go with a Bailey. But I'm really thinking about Jake Slaughter here, who I'm still very high on in this class. Like Jake Slaughter a lot. Florida's offense has just kind of fallen off with Lagway. Add him into the offensive line. They just went out and traded for Trevor Penning. Boom. There you go. I'm a big fan of Jake Slaughter. Like I said a million times, center, tackle, edge. And now this is an LT Overton spot if I ever saw one. Love some Alabama-type guys. Love some SEC-type guys. Get the Georgia guys usually. There you go. San Fran gets a nice edge rusher to pair with the guy they just went and got last year from Georgia. And that's very nice. Michael Williams now. And LT Overton rebuild up that defense after you lost a couple guys last offseason. Here is where the Cowboys could maybe go Caden Proctor. You know what? I think that might be the pick, unless there's somebody else who fits. Jennings Dunker is totally like a pick they would make, though. Or Jennings Dunker. Or Deontay Lawson. Oh my god, they would totally pick Deontay Lawson here. It was not a bad pick, either. I like Deontay Lawson. I like him or Hill. But I think that's actually a great pick. They love Alabama dudes. They love Texas guys. Lawson, a very underrated linebacker, and back-to-back Alabama players is a fun storyline. You get the Bills edge. David Bailey fits so well into that room. Love David Bailey. He's had a generational rise in this class. And you have the Seahawks here, right? Connor Lew way too early for him. I think this is a corner spot. This could be an Avion Terrell spot even. You know what? No, Mansour Delane fits very nice here. Reek Woolen has fallen off a bit. Devin Witherspoon kind of the guy in there. Add to it, though, make it one of the best corner rooms in the league for an already awesome defense. And if Lenore Sellers was still here, I would say pick him. But the fact that Ty Simpson is still here, even Sam Levitt, I really like. The fact that Ty Simpson's still here, get a guy behind Matt Stafford, man. And Ty Simpson is a really nice guy to pick for that. I don't like him a lot, but the fact that he could sit behind Stafford, any quarterback that could, although I would love a quarterback with traits like Sellers sitting behind Matt Stafford, I would still take Ty Simpson sitting behind him. It's not a bad idea either. Running back may end up being a need for the Broncos. I would address that in the later round. For now, it's going to be Kenyon Sadiq because they go and get Ingram. He is not the player that they expected out of him. Kenyon Sadiq is awesome, though. Could easily fit on that team or the Chiefs really well. Tight end one of the class, no doubt about it. For the Bucks, they're kind of looking for a similar thing, so they might be a little upset that they lost out on a guy like him, but could get a Stowers or somebody later in the class, so I wouldn't hate. Cassius House still sitting here. Could have grabbed Sonny Styles. I'm going to grab Anthony Hill here. I think he's a first-round level talent. Patriots, man. What year is this? Eagles, Patriots down here? Ooh. Anthony Hill, very nice linebacker prospect, though. Got to kind of run through this. Caden Proctor falling all the way down here is nuts. There you go. Grab him, pair him alongside Will Campbell. Continue to upgrade that offensive line for Drake May, and he'll be able to hit whatever receiver you want. Keyshawn Butte, Stephon Diggs, Pop Douglas, Hunter Henry. Doesn't matter. He's going to be able to hit them. At this point, nobody I would really want the Eagles to draft. Like right there. Edge, corner. You know what? Avion Terrell, man. Just add to the corner room. I love Avion Terrell. First round pick, no doubt. Top 20 player. Add to that room. Love that. And then at the bottom here, quarterback Sam Levitt's still here. Maybe not a first round guy, but they could take a chance on him. Corner Colton Hood is here. And you know what? You might as well, right? Might as well take a chance. I do believe Sam Levitt's going to end up moving back up in the class. I like Levitt a lot, and I think pairing him, you pair him and Tyson, right? That's really nice. All right, so you pair him and Tyson back, getting the ASU duo together, and you get your quarterback of the future. And yeah, I really like that for the Jets. All right, that's how we'll end it. I actually haven't really done anything because that Jets trade just happened, but we'll do just that. Sam Levitt and Jordan Tyson getting paired up again, and Patriots get Caden Proctor, and the results probably aren't going to load for a minute. There we go. It's still not loading. There we go. All right, this is going to be our finalized mock draft. What is this? 2.0 at this point? Mock draft 2.0 for 2026. A whole lot more is going to continue to change, but I like Mendoza to the Saints there. Him or Dante Moore they could go with. Fano's nice to the Titans. Get the Tyson and the Levitt duo back together. That's fun. Orvell Reese, great linebacker fit. They love Ohio State guys. They love Big Ten linebackers. Caleb Downs, man, he would be a dog for the Giants, and I would be sad to see that as an Eagles fan. Pete Woods, nice fit. TJ Parker add to the edge room. Bengals upgrade the defense. Wide receiver 2. Wide receiver 2. Now go, or the Rams would like win this draft. Ty Simpson to back up Stafford. You're literally getting a backup quarterback in the first round. That could be your future successor to Stafford. And I also really love the David Bailey pick. I would love them to pick him or Olive Vega Yon to the Texans. Banks is just like such a Cowboys pick. But then they get 2 picks, so picking Deontay Lawson, not a bad idea. LT Overton is still a first-round guy to me. Yeah, so a couple of teams, even the Browns, they get their quarterback and wide receiver guy. Quarterback, wide receiver. Why did I say it like that? Jake Slaughter is still a first-round guy for me. Sellers to the Steelers. But yeah, that's actually going to be all for me for today, guys. I got to go. I got work. But yeah, this is going to be Mock Draft 2.0. And I'll see you guys all in the next video. Hope you are ready. A whole lot of new videos coming out. Jets franchise. Stay tuned. More Udell Dynasty coming out soon as well. And some reactions to the NFL trade deadline. Going to be very fun. I'll see you guys all in the next one, though. Peace.